Hello again, it's been a while since we had an OTA update, which is why we're going to be a little heavy-handed with this week's adjustments and provide a variety of changes in different areas of the metagame. We really value keeping things fresh and interesting and view Marvel Snap itself as a puzzle to be solved every couple weeks. We've also modified the format of these notes slightly to more directly emphasize the changes we're making. Let's dive right in. Bounce nerfs. Let's begin by addressing the Beast Falcon in the room. It's no secret that Bounce has been one of the top decks in the metagame for the last few weeks. We actually feel Bounce is the undisputed best deck because its matchup spread has a startlingly... oh my god, it's just like Sunsport. Startlingly high number of 60% matchups, and many of its cards top win percentage charts when not drawn, indicating the deck is winning with a variety of card combinations. The skill edge the deck offers, possibly the largest in the game, also means that edge can increase for the most practiced Bounce players, so we're going to hit the deck firmly. Furthermore, the strongest shell in the deck is relatively transferable. You don't need to be playing Beast Falcon game to have a very strong deck. That means we're going to target cards that get shared across other versions of the archetype. Kitty Pride, old, 1-0. When this returns to your hand, +2 power, returns at the start of each turn, and the change is from 1-0 +2 on return to 1-2 +1 on return. So she starts on 2 and she gets +1 every turn. Kitty is the best performing card in all Bounce decks, so she's an ideal candidate to target. Her strength has even warped how other decks approach the matchup, pushing combinations like Invisible Woman and Killmonger into the metagame. This adjustment will lower her ceiling substantially. We see Kitty pretty commonly making it to 8 power, and in that scenario, she now have only 6. Okay. That's definitely a nerf, but the change does raise her floor, adding power or saving you energy when drawn on turn 5 or 6. So now she scales really badly, but she starts for 2. I feel like it's a really strong nerf, actually, for Kitty. It's a big nerf. Big nerf. Hit Monkey. Old, 2-0 on reveal, gain +2 for each other card you played this turn. Change from 2-0 to 3-2. Oh, it costs 1 more, so you can't do the Mysterio Hit Monkey anymore. The next strong card in Bounce has been Hit Monkey, so we're tagging a nerf onto him as well. We're adding an energy to Hit Monkey for a few reasons. The first is just to weaken him. Hit Monkey, reap my future plans for Sarah. Don't worry, Sarah is an amazing archetype, regardless of Hit Monkey. The first is just to weaken him. Very often you'd spend that energy to play a 1 cost on the last turn, which would itself have 2 more power in addition to the buff it gave Hit Monkey. So this is just taking that away. What, again? You'd spend that energy to play a 1 cost on the last turn, which would itself have 2 or more power in addition to the buff it gave Hit Monkey. So this is just taking that away. So you could play a 2 cost and a 1 cost, and now you can only play the 3 cost. Okay. It also makes him much less efficient to play early in the game. Mostly eliminate the early Hit Monkey you beast back for more value later on. Yeah, that was really annoying. That they could Hit Monkey and then beast it back. We chose this execution rather than something weirder like -2 power or buffing +1 power, but adding some base power because it's more elegant. Yeah, so basically they they hurt the bounce potential of Hit Monkey now. So now it's harder to play Hit Monkey in a bounce deck, because it costs more. Spider Ham, old 1/1 on reveal, transform the highest cost card in your opponent's hand into a pig, keeping its power and cost, change 1/1 into 2/2. Spider Ham's been a generically strong card in a few decks. Rip my pinned store card. Yeah, I also have Spider Ham pinned. I might remove it as well. So it might surprise you to see it lumped in with Bounce here. However, that's the deck where it's seen the most play. And it's also been the third strongest card in that deck. It has a number of reasonable replacements, so this is our smallest change to Bounce. But we have other motivations for changing the card. We're unhappy with the extent of the damage Spider Ham has done to a few archetypes, revolving around cool high-cost cards like She-Hulk, Death, and especially Apocalypse. Yeah, Apocalypse gets wrecked by that. She-Hulk and Death also. Death is unplayable basically after that. I will have never get to play any of these cards at their true power. Dude, I had the same issue. I got Spider-Man after the nerf and I got Doctor Doom after the nerf. I do agree with what they're saying about Ham though. Yeah, Ham is crazy. Crazy strong at 1. We'll have a future adjustment down the road to Spider-Ham's behavior that directly addresses that. But for now, we're just going to make him a little less efficient and see how much that reduces his play rate. What did they do pre-nerf? Spider-Man was 4-3 instead of a 5-4. And Doctor Doom's Doombots were 5 power instead of 4 power. Okay. But for now we're just gonna... Okay. Alright, now that Bounce is out of the way, let's move into more exciting territory, buffs. Phoenix Force. Old 5/6 on reveal, revive one of your destroyed cards and merge with it. That card can move each turn. Change from 5/6 to 4/5. Oh. This is a major buff for Phoenix Force. It's relatively unusual for us to make a change to a Season Pass card so soon, but Phoenix decks have been a lot weaker than we wanted overall. That may be due to the complexity of its deck building in part, but another reason is that we made a relatively late buff to Phoenix, moving it from 5/5 to 5/6. Unfortunately, that ultimately introduced more weakness than strength to the multiple man plan by making him vulnerable to Shang-Chi. Yeah, 5/6 plus 2/3 is 9, Shang-Chi can kill it, which has been seeing plenty of play as a primary answer to Lockjaw Locations Evolve Hub specifically. This change should heat Phoenix up for players in a big way and return multiple men to that sweet spot at 8 power. Nice, so you play multiple men at 2, Venom at 3, Phoenix power at 4, you move it and then you Heimdall. No, you have another turn. What do you do in turn 5? I don't know, you do something cool, whatever on 5 and then you move and Heimdall. If it's a little too much gas, we'll look at cooling her down, but keeping at the cost of 4. Okay. That's a really nice buff for Phoenix Force. If I had Phoenix Force, I would try that. Ghost Spider. Old 2/3 on reveal, the last card you played move here. Change 2/3 to 1/2. 1/2? Dude, this gives so much... This thing gives so much flexibility. I was looking for the word. This gives so much flexibility to movement decks. Lowering this to 1? This is insane. This is actually insane. I saw someone do a crazy play with Hobgoblin's Ghost Spider on turn 6. It's not that crazy, you can do it with Green Goblin as well. We were a little gun shy on the strength of some of our recent move cards, as the deck can be really potent in addition to occasionally melting brains over the sheer number of possible moves you can make. Yeah, I tried playing move decks and I felt like... Yeah. Ghost Spider was one of those cards and having seen the dust settle, we've decided to push her efficiency a bit. Other than Human Torch, Move isn't a deck historically vulnerable to Killmonger, so this change should ultimately net power for Move players. It also makes her a more interesting potential companion for Phoenix, letting players curve Shuri into Phoenix. How? How do you curve Shuri into Phoenix? Plus Ghost Spider efficiently? So wait, you play multiple men on 2, kill it with Venom on 3, play Shuri on 4, play Phoenix Force and Ghost Spider on 5, and Heimdall on 6. That's a PogChamp curve. I understand. I understand what their plan is for that. Okay. Took me some time to calculate everything. Okay, our friend, the Miming Tribunal. Old 6-6, ongoing, split your total power evenly among all locations. Change from 6-6 to 6-9. Living Tribunal has successfully spun up a fringe deck that pushes loads of power, but that deck could use a little lift. Wait, 4 plus 1 equals 5? Eddie, that's... I didn't know that. Okay. Anyway, that 3 power would be a huge buff to most cards, but for Living Tribunal it plays a lot more like 1 power. This change does open Living Tribunal up to Shang-Chi, but with his effect being active from any location helps him stay nimble against that threat. If this buff doesn't get him where he wants to go, we'll be back. I mean... So they will be back, yeah. Yeah, they will be back, but when? That's the question. A long time can pass until they buff Living Tribunal again. And... the only way to make Living Tribunal good enough is to lower its cost, basically. It can't be a 6 cost card. It just can't be 6. That's the problem, not the power. Basically, this buff does almost nothing. Almost nothing. Because you get plus 1 point at every location. You don't win with plus 1 point. It makes it 69, yeah, that's nice. Very nice, but... But buffing Tribunal, this is not the way. Living Tribunal has successfully spun up a fringe. Yeah, we will be back. Okay. Magik. Old 5-3. You can't play this on turn 6. On reveal, change this location to Limbo. Change from 5-3 to 3-2. Now this is a major change. This is a major change for 2 reasons. Sorry, more than 2 reasons. First of all, now Magik can counter Storm. I was using it in my negative deck. Now it's even cheaper for you. So now you can use it as a counter to Storm, which is really bad for lockdown, right? Because opponent plays Storm, you play Magik on the flooded location, basically stop the lockdown and GG. I use Storm as a counter to Magik, ironically. Yeah, when it's 5, you can't use it as a counter. But when it's 3, so that's a real big problem. Second, now you can more easily, you could have done this in the past, but now you can more easily magic and then storm the location or Scarlet Witch the location and then end the game on turn 6. So you can also do that now. Another thing that makes this much better now is the fact that you can play your 5 cost that you want to play on 5 instead of playing magic. Like you want to play Sarah, right? You want to play Iron Man, you want to play, I don't know, Spider-Man. Something that has a strong effect on turn 5, now you can do it. So I think this is actually an insane buff to Magic. I think this is the biggest thing that happened in this patch as a buff. This is insane. Ever since the nerf that knocked Magic from her perch defining the meta season, yeah, I will not answer that comment. Ever since the nerf that knocked Magic from her perch defining the meta game into its deepest recesses, we've been looking for a safe time to reintroduce her at a more aggressive rate, since her fantasy and impact on the game are both interesting. This season seemed ideal to do that, with a hot new variant hitting the streets via the Season Pass. Yeah, there was a variant in the Season Pass, the Magic variant. We're actually going to make a small behavior change to Magic in our next patch. Oh! There's also another change coming. Restoring her to being playable on turn 6, but disabling just her own reveal in that case. So you can just put it as stats, but it doesn't work. Interesting. We're debuting this stat change a little early to celebrate her time as a member of the Phoenix 5 in the appropriate season. The Great Web! Oh, my favorite location. After each turn, move one card to the web for a random player. Everyone needs a turn 6/3/2. I actually like the change. Why not be able to play, like, there's a dead card and there's an unplayable card. It's much better as a dead card than anything else, right? Besides, now you can play it as a 3-drop for Surfer. Think about it. Think about it. Now you can play it as a 3-drop that gets buffed from Surfer. This is actually a great buff for Surfer. Insane buff for Surfer. The Great Web. After each turn, move one card to the web for a random player. Change. We're making this location appear less frequently. Oh, thank you. I hate this location. Much like Miles Morales himself, players have been getting roped into a larger conflict than they may have bargained for with the Great Web. We think the location is pretty interesting and especially enjoy how it factors different cards and archetypes in unique ways, but we're sensitive to the frustration being a little higher than we expected. We have a variety of location rarities and Great Web was one of our most common. We're changing it up to be one of our more rare location, using the tier second only to the likes of Ego and Worldship. That's all for this week. We'll be back on the 3rd of August with your next regularly scheduled OTA update. Okay, so the main things here are a very big buff to Magic, and now it's basically a Surfer card. Tribunal basically got nothing, like +3 attack with this effect does nothing basically. Ghost Spider got buffed. Phoenix Force got buffed. This is really scary now, this Phoenix Force deck. A lot of stats on the board. A lot of stats. And very hard to deal with this. Spider-Ham was a bit nerfed, which is good. Hit Monkey was nerfed, which is good. Kitty was nerfed, which is good. Okay, overall okay balance, I think, but this basically pushes more and more for Surfer and for Serra. Serra decks are already really good. I also played the Hazmat Serra, and it's a really good archetype. No Guten Nerf? No.